What is up, hooligans, and happy freedom. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Hooligans, where we try to make the news suck a little less. Now, I appreciate all of you guys being here. If you're over on Rumble, please hit that like button. More likes equals more hooligans. We're going to read their schedule really quick, and then we will be checking on all the chats. So let me know how you hooligans are doing today. Then, of course, we'll be getting things started. We're going to be starting off with this first video titled, Witness Tells USCG, which has got to be the Coast Guard, right, that they saw a shark with a body in its mouth. I don't know. That sounds kind of weird to me, but that's what they're saying. Now, the search has been suspended, but I guess there was a group of swimmers, so it's the real deal, but I don't know. That's a weird sighting there. Either way. Then we got a video. It's titled Crash on Los Angeles Area Highway Claims the Life of Call of Duty co-creator. There's a lot of video out there of this crash happening. I don't think you're going to see the actual crash itself in this video. You're just going to see the car on fire. It might actually be a picture. But there's a ton of video of this. I have no idea why that guy did that. It's like he kind of just drove the car right into the wall. I don't really know. Either way, then we got a video. It's titled Controversial 60 Minutes Piece Pulled Accidentally Airs in Canada. We covered this yesterday. They were saying they weren't going to air this 60 Minutes episode about CECOT in El Salvador, talking about the Supermax. They didn't say why they weren't going to air it. They were saying that like they needed to work on it a little bit. Well, they aired it in Canada, and this video doesn't even tell us why it happened there, but it didn't happen here. Then we got a video. It's titled OU Removes Teacher Assistant who gave failing grade on an essay. This is a shapeshifter professor, and well, they were biased. Then we got our midlife break, our funny video halfway through. Today it was provided by Stoner, and it's titled, well, don't sugarcoat it. And then getting back into the news, we got a video. It's titled, Justice Department releases third batch of Epstein files, including some that mention President Trump. They cannot talk about the Epstein stuff without highlighting President Trump. They're just not able to. Either way, supposedly they released about 30,000 more documents, but again, it's not going to lead to an arrest or anything like that. It's just there. Then we got a video. It's titled, Don't Ignore It. Brown University custodian says that it reported the gunman multiple times before the shooting, and it was like weeks in advance. And so I don't know, did it fall on deaf ears? Because it didn't prevent it from happening. Either way, then we got a video. It's titled Charlie Kirk's Assassin Files New Motion. This is really interesting. He's trying to get rid of the whole prosecution team. Then we got a video. It's titled Judge Allows Kilmar Abrego Garcia to Remain Free. The poor father from Maryland, he gets to go back to Maryland, and now activists are trying to figure out if they can get other border crossers released from detention centers if they do not have final removal orders. Then we'll be getting into the fun stuff. We'll be opening today's door of the Advent Calendar sent by Tori Wayne. And we got our two funny videos of the day. First one was provided by Colty, and it's titled Pranking the Wife is Dangerous. And our official funny video of the day was provided by Stoner, and it's titled, Are They Putting It in the Subs? All of that's coming up next. But first, we're going to hop in the chat and see how you hooligans are doing today. And what is up, everyone, over on jeffmaclive.com. What's up, Ghostly? What's up, Salty Ragoon? What's up, Hair Juicer? What's up, Snooks? And what's up, Turbo? Happy freedom, you hooligans. Appreciate all of you guys being on the website. And what is up, everyone, over on Rumble? Snooks, you were first today. Happy freedom to you, and I appreciate you racing to the chat, Snooks. What's up, MU? Happy freedom. What's up, Kevin? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Watchman? Happy freedom. What's up, Cheeky Chops? Appreciate you being here. What's up, Kung Fu? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Elisa? What's up, Otters? What's up, Libby Racer? Happy freedom, you hooligans. Appreciate all of you guys being on Rumble. Make sure you hit that like button, see if you can get us on the front page. And what is up, everyone, over on Kick? Happy freedom to you, hooligans. And what is up, everyone, over on Twitch? Happy freedom to you, hooligans. And what is up, everyone, over on the GoofTube here? Tommy Two Guns, you were first. Happy freedom to you. What's up, Sven? Happy freedom. What's up, Tim Mack? Happy freedom to you. And what is up, everyone, over on X? Happy freedom to you, hooligans. Let's go ahead and get into things. Like I said, we'll be starting off with this first video. Witness tells Coast Guard that they saw a shark with a body in its mouth as search is suspended for California swimmer. Now, apparently there was a group of swimmers that were hanging out doing the thing. Not all of them came back to shore, and then there was this witness claiming that they saw this shark, and so I don't know, doesn't sound good to me. Hit that like button and let's get into this.
Tonight, a woman still missing off the Central California coast after a possible shark attack, setting off an urgent search.
Possible water rescue, 630 Ocean View, the Lover's Point. It looks like it's going to be a shark sighting.
The first calls coming in around noon on Sunday, according to Pacific Grove Police. A group was in the area near Monterey for a weekly swim, but one of the swimmers never returned.
Something we got was that the subject was about 50 to 100 yards from shore.
There was a large splash that was seen by a witness up here on the shoreline, and from that, all the other swimmers came in because they thought maybe it was possibly a shark attack.
The U.S. Coast Guard telling ABC News at least one witness reported seeing a shark with a person in its mouth before it went back underwater, but they are still investigating. Police say the missing swimmer is reported to be a 55-year-old blonde woman with blue eyes. The Coast Guard suspending its search for that missing swimmer. This as several beaches along California's central coast will be closed through tomorrow. Melissa Adon, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Okay. So it seems kind of obvious, I suppose, right? They all went out swimming. Not everybody made it back. And then supposedly somebody saw a shark with a body in its mouth, so they can just sign off on this and say, no, a shark did it. But what if it was murder? I don't know why my brain is telling me that. What if they planned all this? Kind of like I can't remember what the guy is called. The cryptid Slender Man, like the Slender Man stabbing, right? They went out there and they did something bad and they were like, oh, just call in a report and say a shark did it. And they're like, yeah, that's a good idea. I don't know. Hopefully that's not what happened. It's bad enough as it is, but my brain is like just super suspicious. Either way, they're saying a group of people went out swimming, and they made it sound like this happens every week. One of them never came back to shore. One witness claims that they seen a shark with a person in its mouth before going back underwater. United States Coast Guard is now suspending their search, basically wrapping things up, calling it a day. Next up, crash on Los Angeles area highway claims the life of Call of Duty co-creator. It's coming up next, but first we're going to hop in the chat and see what you hooligans think about this apparent shark attack. What's up, Zero? Happy freedom to you. Zero said they stopped looking. Yeah, I don't know how long they were looking, but apparently they gave it a shot and never found the body. What's up, Kung Fu? Happy freedom to you. Wake up. Well, wake up. He's over here howling in his sleep. Sometimes Klaus has nightmares. I don't know why. Kevin, she got eaten. It sounds that way. Otter's the eye color was important because, yeah, I was kind of wondering that too. They said that she was a 55-year-old blonde-haired woman with blue eyes. Are they like, I don't know. Is this saying that the person that died is a racist because because they're putting out that outline there? It's kind of a weird way they described it. Kung Fu 50 yards is pretty far out. Can't sharks come into like 3 feet of water? So we don't have sharks like that in Lake Michigan. I think we have freshwater sharks, but we don't have like big sharks. I don't have these kind of problems, so I don't really know. Libby Racer, it was a mostly peaceful shark encounter. Right. That's what I figure. Salty Regu, I could take a shark. Not me. I'm not messing with anything in the water. I'm just big no to that. What's up, Lisa? Happy freedom. What's up, Tony Rich? Happy freedom to you. Tommy Two Guns, is that pumpkin spice I smell? And plays the Jaws music. I don't know. I just don't believe it. I don't know why I don't believe it, but I don't. What's up, Sassy Patriot? Happy freedom to you. What does their hair and eye color have to do with anything? I don't know. It is weird that they did. I mean, the description, I guess, just fills in the story, other than being like, yeah, some random woman got eaten by a shark on Wednesday. I guess it fills in the story, but the eye color is a little bit weird. Normally they're like male, female, this age, local. They're either local or they don't say it because they don't talk about border crossers and stuff. They got to stay away from that. What's up, Henny? Happy freedom. Sounds fishy. I know. What's up, Tar Kitty? Happy freedom to you. Hair juicer, we get bull sharks all the way up here? What do you mean? In the freshwater? Snooks ain't coming to 3 feet of water? See, that's what I figured. Even like hip deep, you're in danger. Turbo, fuck the ocean. You won't catch me in 3 feet. Me either. I had an opportunity to touch the ocean it wasn't the last time I was in Florida, but it was a couple times before that. I was just like, nah, I'd rather not die. You're in limbo. God's like, what do you think of life? You're like, I don't know. I was going to touch the water. That's the last thing I remember. Ghostly bull sharks can swim up rivers and adjust to fresh water. I have enough problems. You guys don't have to convince me that we got big ass sharks up here. I just do not need that in my life, you know. What's up, Fitzy? Happy freedom to you. All right, hooligans, let's move forward here. Like I said, this next one is controversial 60 Minutes piece pulled. Accidentally airs in Canada. Now, we covered this yesterday, and we were trying to figure out why did they pull it. Was it because there was some misleading information in the video? Were they lying about what was going on in El Salvador? We were questioning that. Well, they didn't play it here, but they did play it in Canada, and they don't even really give an excuse why. Makes it more suspicious. Now, before we get into this, I want to remind you, hooligans, if you'd like to participate in Free Speech Saturday, make sure you post all of your memes over on Discord or on jeffmaclive.com. Just hop in the group chats on either platform. You'll see the tabs labeled memes. Drop what you got and we'll shout you out as we're making Saturdays more fun. Let's pull this up. Do the thing, YouTube. We're just waiting on you, buddy. I think it was also bit by a shark. Come on, man. Old man Walter worked faster in this. They don't want us to show it. They don't want us to show what they were showing in Canada. Them bastards. Fucking YouTube. Anyways, now we can finally get into this. Like I said, controversial 60-minute piece pulled accidentally airs in Canada, out in Canada. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Let's get into this.
This morning, a new chapter in the internal conflict at CBS News over a shelved report critical of the Trump administration after making headlines for being pulled at the last minute. The 60-minute segment reporting on inhumane conditions at a maximum security prison in El Salvador, where the U.S. government deported undocumented immigrants, actually aired overnight in Canada on the Global Television Network.
It's a cell for punishment where you can't see your hand in front of your face. After they locked us in, they came to beat us every half hour.
It's unclear how or why the story aired in Canada. The report includes interviews with some deportees who allege abuse and torture.
When we got there, the CECOT director was talking to us. First thing he told us was that we would never see the light of day or night again.
The White House argues it is sending the worst of the worst to this prison.
These are heinous monsters, rapists, murderers, kidnappers, sexual assaulters, predators who have no right to be in this country, and they must be held accountable.
The segment asserts that nearly half of the Venezuelan deportees sent there had no criminal history. The story was shelved over the weekend by new CBS editor-in-chief Barry Weiss, in part because there was no interview with the Trump administration, according to a source at the network. Angry with the decision, correspondent Sharon Alfonsi emailed her fellow 60 Minutes colleagues, a copy of the email obtained by NBC News. Alfonsi writing in part, "The segment is factually correct. In my view, pulling it now, after every rigorous internal check has been met, is not an editorial decision, it is a political one." Weiss, for her part, writing in a statement, "Holding stories that aren't ready for whatever reason, that they lack sufficient context, say, or that they are missing critical voices, happens every day in every newsroom."
The report said Homeland Security and the Trump administration declined their request for an interview and referred all questions about the prison to El Salvador. We reached out overnight to the White House and CBS News for comment and have not heard back, guys.
All right, Steph, thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget.
Okay. So, like I said, they don't really provide a reason for why this happened. Like it was out of their hands or something. Like I mentioned earlier, yesterday we talked about this same exact situation where they were going to be sharing this piece about CECOT, which is a supermax out in El Salvador, but they pulled it last minute, and we were kind of trying to guess why did they do that. Now, we covered a story not that long ago with the BBC where they had deceptively edited the video, as President Trump said, and it was cut up to make it look like his J6 speech said something different than what it actually said. Now, President Trump sued them for like $2 billion, or maybe it was more than that. I don't know, a shit ton of money. Sued them for a ton of doll hairs, and the evidence is everywhere. We've seen it. We covered it. And so it looks like they're going to go down for that, and they're going to have to pay those doll hairs. Well, he's already sued 60 Minutes also for election interference because of what they did with the Hyena Harris piece and all of that stuff. And he won with that. So he's already sued these people for lying. So it's pretty good assumption that maybe what they were going to say was a little misleading and they wanted to avoid a lawsuit. And that's just my guess. I don't know. But that's what it kind of seemed like, because they pulled it last minute and they didn't air it here. But they aired it in Canada, and out in Canada they all got to see what happened, but we weren't allowed to see it, and they don't really know why that happened, but it did happen, and that doesn't exempt them from lawsuits. As far as I can tell, that's still lying, if there was lying involved. I don't know if they lied or not, but if that was the whole deal, right, they were avoiding a lawsuit. Playing it in Canada, I don't think saves them from that. So why did they do it? I have no idea. Either way, next up, OU removes teaching assistant who gave a failing grade on an essay. Now that's a little vague, but the professor is a shapeshifter of sorts, and the student was writing an essay that directly had to do with gender. We know how those lunatics are, and they handled it just like you would expect. It's coming up next, but first we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about this 60-minute episode that we weren't allowed to see, but Canada was allowed to see it. Ghostly, these criminals have reasons to lie? I believe so. Did we skip the Call of Duty thing? No. Did I skip it on accident? Oh, I did skip it on accident. I don't know why I did that. Weird. We will go back to that. I don't know why I did that. Thank you for reminding me, Ghostly. Guess I'm happy freedom to you. I call BS. Yeah, I think there was some sort of strategy, but without knowing why they actually pulled it, I don't know. I don't know. I can only speculate. Snooks, it was shelved because it was BS. I just don't know why they aired it in Canada and not here. What's up, Shroomish? Happy freedom to you. Otters. No, it's federal to sue them. It's foreign influence to an ally. I mean, yeah, but that's a whole separate thing. But we just don't know what the lawsuit could be. If the lawsuit is even the thing that they were trying to avoid. There was something they were avoiding, obviously. But it's hard to say why they, unless it really was an accident, but that's real shit chain of command there. If you can't prevent something from playing because it's over there and not over here, and it's still your company, that, I don't know, that don't make sense. What's up, High Toe? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Too Old to Care? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Roy? Happy freedom and Merry Christmas to you. I was looking for Klaus's stocking and I don't know where I put it. I had to move 2 U-Hauls worth of shit. And now my house looks like a storage locker and I can't find anything and I hate it and it stresses me out. What's up, Jay? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Damon Walker? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Christine? Happy freedom. Christine, he should sue 60 Minutes again. He might. You never know. President Trump, he sues these companies left and right. You would think they would stop slandering him. What's up, Mr. Lynn? Happy freedom to you. Christine, the reporter, rather believe criminals. Yeah, well, it's their job to tell everybody feel bad for them, just like the terrorist drug smugglers and stuff. They're like, oh, they hit him twice. It's a war crime. And everybody's like, oh, did you hear that President Trump committed a war crime? Like what, against drug smuggling terrorists? I don't know. I don't know. But they do it every day. What's up, Night Owl? Happy freedom to you. Christine, because they hate Trump. Yeah, you're right. Salty Ragu, it's in a box mark stuff. Yeah, basically. I've been sorting through everything, putting it in totes and all of that. Hotters, you didn't sell Klaus's stocking, did you? No, I haven't touched any of Klaus's stuff. Klaus has 3 totes worth of belongings. I don't know. He owns a lot of stuff. He's a hoarder. What's up, Sin? Happy freedom to you. Totally care. Busy baking cookies and making goodies today. Sounds good. Sounds nice and festive. I want to do festive stuff. I just don't have the energy to do it. We'll see how it goes. Either way, we are going to back up because I skipped this somehow. I don't know how I did this, but we're going to cover this really quick story about this crash in LA, or it's in the Los Angeles area, where the co-creator of Call of Duty just died. Him and a passenger died in a Ferrari. Well, that's not accurate wording because the one was projected, but or it was ejected, not projected. It was ejected. It's not good the way I'm telling this story. Either way, this really tragic accident happened. Hit that like button and let's get into this.
The co-creator of the popular Call of Duty video game franchise is dead following a violent car crash. And a warning now, the video you're about to see may be distressing. Investigators say Vince Zampella was driving a 2026 Ferrari 296 GTS at a high rate of speed Sunday afternoon when he hit a concrete barrier along Angeles Crest Highway near mile marker 62. The sports car split apart and burst into flames almost immediately. A passenger was ejected from the vehicle. Zampella was trapped inside. Both he and the passenger died from their injuries. Zampella was 55 years old. The other victim's identity has not yet been released.
Okay, so like I said before, there's actually a ton of footage of this accident happening. I don't know if there was some stunt going on or what the deal was, but I've seen quite a bit of the footage. There's a bunch of people standing around. Supposedly this is the side of a freeway. This Ferrari comes from like a tunnel area out into the open and needs to make a turn, like make a curve basically. They're not turning, but they're curving, and they don't. They hit the barrier, and they say the passenger was ejected from the vehicle, and they say that he was trapped in the vehicle, which you could see was on fire, and they're saying that both of them succumbed to their injuries. Both people died. And so I don't know why it happened. That's the confusing thing. They act like maybe there was something wrong with the car. I've seen a lot of people crash these kinds of cars, not in person, but I've seen a lot of videos, and it seems like supercars are hard to control if you get up there in speed. And so I don't know if they just simply lost control of the vehicle or if they were potentially under the influence of something. It's hard to say. What I don't really understand is why there were so many people standing on the side of the freeway. Why were they all standing there? Why did they all have their phones out? What were they doing? Did they know that he was going to do this? Because I've seen like I've seen more camera angles of this than the Charlie Kirk event. So it's like, why were they all ready to do this? That's a weird thing, and I don't know. Maybe there'll be a follow-up to tell us that stuff, but it just seems kind of odd. And that video was pretty mild. To see the car crash happen isn't the biggest thing compared to everything else we've covered over the last almost 6 years, but it's kind of graphic. I mean, like I said, the guy just doesn't turn. They just drive right into the barrier. The car blows apart and catches on fire. And the other thing is I think a lot of those videos are going to get pulled, because when it initially happened, I don't think people realized that the passenger was ejected from the vehicle. So I think some of that footage is going to get pulled because I think some of it contains the passenger, and you just don't realize it because how bad everything looks. And so anyways, I didn't want to show you guys that. You guys know where to look. You go to X or whatever if you want to, watch that terrible car accident. But yeah, I didn't want to show that stuff. So either way, next up we got, like I said, Ohio University, I think it's Ohio, I don't know, OU removes teaching assistant who gave failing grade on an essay. And like I said, the professor or professor assistant, whatever, this individual teaching there at the university, they're a shapeshifter. And when the topic of gender came up, this shapeshifter decided to fail this student. Like I said, it's coming up next. First, we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about this whole situation with the co-creator or the co-founder? the co-creator of Call of Duty. Solid right here. Nothing to see here. I just don't know. The situation just seems kind of weird on why everybody was all ready to take video of this. Ghostly, if you want to drive crazy and you die, that's sad. But if you take someone with you, then you're scum. Sad for the passenger and his family. Yeah, and I don't know. I know they were driving fast, but I don't know that they were breaking the speed limit. And I mean, I didn't see him trying to whip a 180. So I'm not implying that he was recklessly driving. I just know that he was at a high rate of speed, and it just looked like he didn't turn when he needed to turn. And I don't know why, and they haven't said why, so I don't know. It's a weird situation. Ghostly, he's the head of Battlefield 6 too. See, I didn't even realize that. Ghostly, he was going over 100. Oh yeah, he was breaking the speed limit. Yeah. Ghostly, they had people filming in the street, was cleared. He was showing off for his friends. Oh, see, yeah, no, bad choices. Turbo at 75 degrees here today. I had to put on a swimsuit. Holy, it's warm here, like 30. It's like 35 here. It's pretty nice. I'll never get to go outside where there's sunlight. I can't stand it getting dark at 5 o'clock. That sucks. What's up, Electric Hammer? Happy freedom to you. Otters, I'm doing chocolate chip cookies, brownies, cookie brownies, and somehow gotta get enchiladas in there. Jeez, Otters, you're cooking it up. It sounds fantastic. Shroomish, you got a hot date? No, why are you saying that to me? No, I do not have a hot date. I wish. What's up, 10 Man? Happy freedom. It's 67 where you are. That's pretty nice out. Everybody in the chat's like 6'7". Snooks and the camera people fled like wussies in their cars. Yeah, and I forgot about that. But yeah, they did do that. It was weird. The crash happens. Everybody gets in their car and leaves. I wonder if they're going to be charged. I'm pretty sure you can't just leave like that. Like, maybe if you're in danger, that's one thing. Like, you know, what happened in the Charlie Kirk situation. But I think if you witness a car accident, I think you're supposed to sit there and report it. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I don't know. Zera's 58 where you are. See, that's nice out. So, Disciple, happy freedom to you. It's 47 where you are in Iowa. See, this is nice. I don't know, it's still cold here, but I'm glad you guys got nice weather. Otters, Klaus is a hot date. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I've been kind of weaning him off the fancy food, not the fancy feast, but he's got fancy feast and Go-Gurts and temptation treats, and then he's got Taste of the Wild cat food from Tractor Supply. He eats like $50 worth of food a month, and I've been weaning him off of it because of my situation I'm in. I'm trying to save these doll hairs, but Christmas is coming up, so I bought him some Go-Gurts. He's gonna be treated tonight. He doesn't even know. He's not even expecting it. Electric Amber, not to brag, but it's 82 here in Texas. Holy, that's nice. That's actually too hot. I can't handle that hot temperature. Anything over 72, I start getting miserable. What's up, Masterminds? Happy freedom to you. Masterminds, 74 where you are in Florida. Fitzy, 72 where you are. See, that's about perfect right there, 72. 10 Man, if they catch him, could be charged. Shit, good luck catching them. Well, they're all on camera. All those people had their faces on camera and stuff, and then they got in their vehicles where their license plate was shown, and then they fled. So I don't know. I think they could be caught, but I don't know if the police would care enough about it. What's up, that girl? Happy Freedom. 78 where you are in Texas. You guys got nice weather year round. What's up, Top Cat? Happy Freedom to you. Is it Oklahoma University? That's what I was wondering. Night out, 33 degrees in Pennsylvania. Yeah, that's what it's like here. It's all gloomy and cold outside. I don't know. It's better than 8. Last week it was like 8 and 6. Shroomish got caught trying to skip stories. I wasn't trying to. I announced it when we read through the schedule. I just somehow got discombobulated along the way. I don't know. Klaus did it. I'm just blaming Klaus. Either way, getting into this. OU removes teaching assistant who gave failing grade on an essay. Now, this actually worked out in the student's favor, which a lot of times it don't. But apparently they didn't want any smoke from President Trump. He starts hearing about unfair treatment and discrimination. All of a sudden, he starts pulling that federal funding. Hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube, and let's get into this.
After weeks of controversy and national attention, the University of Oklahoma wraps up an investigation over a failing grade given to an OU student. Now, this all revolves around Samantha Fulnecky's controversial psychology essay on gender. While the school is staying pretty tight-lipped on the actual findings, they did share details on the future of the instructor who graded the paper. News 4's Tanner De Leon is here with the new developments for us tonight. Tanner?
Well, Kevin, tonight we know the graduate teaching assistant will no longer teach at OU, but the university won't say much else about its investigation into Samantha Fulnecky's accusation that this was religious discrimination.
I think I should have gotten 100. I've gotten 100 on every single essay I've written in this class.
But OU junior Samantha Fulnecky did not get a 100 on an essay written for a psychology class in response to a study on gender expectations in society. In it, Fulnecky cited her religious beliefs, writing in part, quote, "Women naturally want to do womanly things because God created us with those womanly desires in our hearts."
They never required any evidence or anything to support my opinion.
She also wrote beliefs and genders beyond male and female are, quote, demonic. The instructor, Mel Kurth, who is transgender, gave Fulnecky a failing grade. Explaining why, Kurth clearly pointed out, "Please note that I am not deducting points because you have certain beliefs." But Fulnecky, who claims she did not know the professor was transgender before all of this, felt she was discriminated against because of her religious beliefs and filed a complaint with OU. The university placing Kurth on leave in response. Fulnecky also contacted Governor Kevin Stitt and the university's chapter of Turning Point USA, a conservative nonprofit. The fallout from Fulnecky's essay has garnered praise from figures on the political right.
OU, shame on you!
Sparked protest on campus and raised questions among other professors.
She just wrote a bad paper, and it had nothing to do with her own faith.
That people are sick of these things happening, and that across the board, things like TPUSA and things like other extremist organizations have a chokehold over people like the president of OU.
There's clearly demonic activity present in both sides of this argument. Yeah, it was a bad essay. It wasn't cited correctly. It did not follow the instructions on Canvas. It was a bad essay, and I'm willing to say that.
We've heard nothing yet from the OU administration to counter this, to mitigate this.
But on Monday, university leaders said the claim for discrimination has been investigated and concluded. The university does not release findings from such investigations. They also say, based on the teaching assistant's past grading history and patterns and their own statements on this matter, the graduate teaching assistant was arbitrary in the grading of this specific paper. They add Kurth will no longer teach at OU. The university went on to say, "We are committed to teaching students how to think, not what to think." In the wake of the controversy, OU's chapter of the American Association of University Professors launched a petition urging OU to uphold academic freedom and better protect faculty. In response to Monday's actions, they tell News 4 in a statement, OU claims without providing any supporting or specific reasons why Mel Kurth was removed, adding, OU is making an employment decision public, which is inflaming the situation.
I think if you can't do your job correctly in any setting, you get fired.
Now, OU previously said the essay grade would not count towards full Nikki's final grade. You can read the full statements from the university as well as the American Association of University Professors over at KFOR.com.
Okay. So like I said, this was actually a win for the student, and it normally doesn't go that way. The student feels that they were discriminated against by their class professor, who's a shapeshifter. Says that they failed her on the essay and feels that it was biased. The student claims that it was because of religious beliefs. The student was also saying that they got 100 on all the other essays until this topic of genders came up, and all of a sudden she failed. The student says that they didn't know that the professor was a shapeshifter, and OU let the professor go after seeing that there was patterns in their behavior. Next up, we got our midlife break, our funny video halfway through. Today it was provided by Stoner, and it's titled, Well, Don't Sugarcoat It. It's coming up next, but first we're going to hop in the chat and see what you hooligans think about OU and this shape-shifting teacher that was heavily biased against this student here. Yes, bad essay. He hates Mexicans. Yeah, see, that's what it was. That guy was biased too. I don't know what their last name was. Everybody was like, what is full Nikki? I don't know. I've never heard that last name before. Snooks, it was 75 here today, and it'll be 57 tonight. It's kind of cold for Florida, 57. Turbo, you see the way that old man was watching her talk? Get that man a napkin. He's about to start drooling. He was really concerned. Turbo, he was heavily concerned about her situation. That's all it was. He was just worried about her. Done. We need to stop letting lunatics run the asylum. You are not wrong. You are not wrong at all. I'm glad that someone's doing something about this, because we used to cover stories about teachers forcing elementary kids to pledge allegiance to rainbow flags, and how the school was saying that if you refuse to do it, that you'll be kicked out of school and stuff like that. And it's like, I don't know, I'm glad we're not covering stories like that anymore. I think America's healing. Ramsey, happy freedom to you. Demons are hitting the FO part of FAFO. Yep, seems that way. What's up, Dutton? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Rappy? Happy freedom to you. Libby Racer, just imagine if Hyena Harris won the presidential election. I try not to think about that. I try not to. We'd be in rough shape. I know that. What's up, Jay Blazer? Happy freedom to you. Sven, genetics is controversial now. Well, I think we're on the way out. It was a couple years ago. You couldn't say anything about boys and girls. You couldn't even say anything about it on the live. I'm not sure if you can even write boys and girls in Twitch right now, because I know that you couldn't. If you wrote girl, it would block you out of the chat. Like, you wouldn't be banned, but it'd flag the message. One time I tried to do a poll, and it was something like one was girls and the other was boys, and it told me I couldn't do a poll like that because it was against community guidelines or whatever to write boy or girl in a poll setting on Twitch. And so it was controversial, but it's becoming less controversial, thank God. Snooks, you sound tired. I'm always tired. I can't sleep. I can only sleep 2 hours at a time. And I need to make the doll hairs for an attorney. What's up, Bright Gaming? Happy freedom to you. Most of the stuff I just can't read out loud. You guys are right, though. All of you guys who are writing all this stuff, just know you're right. I just can't read it out loud because these soft-ass platforms. Either way, moving forward here, like I said, we got our midlife break, our funny video halfway through. Today was provided by Stoner. Let's get this pulled up.
Can you explain?
All right, like I said, this was provided by Stoner, and it's titled, well, don't sugarcoat it.
Can you explain the scale of the universe? No.
No, I can't. That's how I like it. Nice and direct and honest. Anyways, getting back into the news here. Next up, we have Justice Department releases third batch of Epstein files, including some that mention Trump. Can you believe that? It's got Trump in it. My goodness. They can't ever talk about it without adding Trump. They might as well just call it the Trump files. Nah, they probably will now that I said that. Either way, before we get into this, I want to remind you, hooligans, really quick, if you'd like to join the membership program over on Rumble and become an official hooligan, all you have to do is click that big red subscribe button right below where you type in the chat. Now, if you're on Android and using the Rumble app, you're unable to see that big red subscribe button. So you got to open a browser, go to rumble.com, come to the live, hop in the chat, and like I said, right below where you type in the chat, you will see that big red subscribe button. Click that button and jump through the hoops, and your name will be highlighted as an official Rumble hooligan. You'll have access to our custom emojis. We have chapstick emojis, scream and goat emojis, Klaus Daniels emojis, President Trump emojis, and more. It's a lot of fun during the live, especially during a Trump live. So definitely go join the membership program over on Rumble. And before we get into this, I want to remind you, hooligans, that we hit 100 hooligans over on Rumble. We're going to be eating the scorpion jerky that Beck Frank sent me. It's the hottest that Australia has to offer. So let's get 100 hooligans over on Rumble, and we can eat some spicy jerky. Either way, getting into this news here. Like I said, Justice Department releases third batch of Epstein files, and then, of course, they have to highlight President Trump as if he is the only person in the files. Go ahead and hit that like button. Let's get into this.
In its largest release yet, the Department of Justice making nearly 30,000 more pages public from its files on sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The new documents make references to President Trump, including tips about how connected he may have been to Epstein, who the president has acknowledged socializing with decades ago. In a statement, the Justice Department saying, quote, some of these documents contain untrue and sensationalist claims made against President Trump that were submitted to the FBI right before the 2020 election. The president voiced his frustration with the continuing controversy before the newest documents came out.
A lot of people are very angry that pictures are being released of other people that really had nothing to do with Epstein, but they're in a picture with him because he was at a party, and you ruin the reputation of somebody.
The new trove of files includes a 2020 email from an assistant U.S. attorney referencing President Trump riding on Epstein's private jet many more times than previously reported, including at least 8 times between 1993 and 1996. None of the files show whether there were follow-up investigations or if anyone corroborated any of the tips. President Trump has long denied wrongdoing and said he cut ties with Epstein for being a creep. The Justice Department stressed the newly released claims would have already been, quote, weaponized if they had a shred of credibility. And it all comes as the department has faced mounting pressure and threats of legal action to release all the files as required by law.
Okay. So there's the third batch of documents there for funsies. It's just there for funsies. Now, I'm not sure how much more they have that's available. I'm trying to remember what the number was when we first covered this. I want to say it was like 90,000 or something like that. And so far they've released a little less than 30,000, or at least that's what they're saying in this video. And of course it mentions President Trump, but they highlight that he was on the plane 8 times, and that was more than they had previously said before, but there's still no mention of him actually going to the island. So that doesn't change things, but they can't seem to talk about the Epstein files without bringing up President Trump and highlighting him and everything. And what they don't talk a lot about is about how they've already announced that none of these documents will lead to a third-party arrest. So it's just a shut the hell up release. That's all it is. It's just, here's a bunch of paperwork, go shut the hell up. That's what they want. They want people to stop talking about this because they're not willing to do any more about it. So they're just going to keep releasing this stuff, using it as a way to smear President Trump. It's not slander because they are saying that there's no evidence of wrongdoing. But like I said, every time they mention the Epstein files, they got to mention President Trump as if he's the only one mentioned. And so they're just going to continue to do that, slow roll this until they don't have anything left and mention President Trump every single time they do it, and then in the end, not arrest any bad guys. Either way, next up, don't ignore it. Brown University custodian says that he reported the gunman multiple times before the shooting. They say that it was weeks in advance that he had reported this suspicious guy on campus who ended up being the shooter at Brown University. It's coming up next, but first we're going to hop in the chat and see what you hooligans think about this third batch Epstein files. Bright Gaming, would it really be that pleasurable with Clinton there? See, and that's what I think is funny, is Clinton's wearing a dress in one of these paintings, and they don't talk about it at all, but they talk about President Trump. Haven't seen President Trump wearing a dress, and the only suspicious photos I've seen of President Trump are AI generated. They're not even real. There's a lot of these weird photos of President Trump and Bill Clinton being a little too friendly with each other. Nothing nude or naked, but just weird looking images, suggestive images. But it all came out that it's all AI and stuff, and that's all that you see. Bill Clinton's in a dress. They act like that didn't happen. So I don't know. It's very weird. Thank you so much, Kung Fu, for joining the membership program over on Rumble, and welcome to the family. You're officially a hooligan, and I appreciate you, Kung Fu. Thank you. Disciple, freedom of speech to all them soft platforms. Yeah, I mean, there's not even real freedom of speech on the internet at all, but those soft platforms, it's stupid. At least they haven't been getting on me too much about things, but when they do get on me, it's always the dumbest stuff. Shroomish, it's annoying, but if they didn't push back, we wouldn't have any files on the Epstein stuff. Trump's dropping the ball with it, I feel. Well, once they get these files released, I think that they're going to memory hole it. People will forget about this stuff. Maxwell keeps trying to appeal to get out of the prison she's in, even though she was moved to a lower security prison. And so unless she gets out, I think people eventually will forget about this, because there's no real resolution to it anyways. The only thing is the files, and once they release it, yeah, the survivors will still be around, but what are they going to do? They can't generate a list of names because it'll be slander. They don't have anybody agreeing to read the list of names that they are trying to generate, so that's a dead end too. Nobody's going to prison for these files, so all they have left is releasing the files, and then that's it, and they'll be done. What's up, Derek? Happy freedom. What's up, Nick? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Kevin? Happy freedom. MAGA King 2028. Everybody calling him King Trump. That no king stuff brainwashed everybody. A bunch of idiots. If you're to call him king, he's the MAGA King. Derek, are they doing nothing, or is it that they can't because the judges and system are still full of obstacles? Well, no, they got it released. Some of these files are like grand jury stuff that is very difficult to get released, get it unsealed, and they did, but they never had evidence of wrongdoing is what they're claiming. They're saying all this time they've had all this documentation and stuff. None of it has ever been incriminating to a third party outside of Epstein and Maxwell. They're saying that's it. There's nobody else involved, and they're not trying to figure out if anybody else is involved. And when people put pressure on them, they were like, look, we'll give you this documentation that we already know has no evidence of anything, and then we'll just tell you guys to shut up. And then President Trump put out a post on Truth Social saying, you're a former supporter if you're still asking about the Epstein stuff, saying like you're former MAGA and stuff like that. You're not a real supporter anymore. And after that, people stopped. They either were offended by it and they wanted to see results, or they did what President Trump told them to do and they started looking the other way. So I don't know. In the end, like I said, there's no resolution. Either way, getting into this next, a little bit of the news. It is, don't ignore it. Brown University custodian says he reported gunmen multiple times before the shooting happened. I don't know. In this shooting, like a lot of the stuff we're covering today is very suspicious. Like this whole shooting situation, it itself is suspicious. They had 1,200 cameras on the university. None of them caught the shooter. None of them caught the shooting. This guy reported it. That wasn't on the record until after the situation. They found the shooter. Shooter was dead. Oh, and by the way, the shooter also shot the MIT professor. Oh, okay. Like, that's not suspicious at all. Hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the commie tube, and let's get into this.
A Brown University employee says he notified a third-party security company about a man he didn't recognize inside campus weeks before the shooting. The suspicious person ended up being the gunman in last weekend's shooting who killed 2 students and an MIT professor days later. Joe Cortez joins us live in studio this morning to go over what the Target 12 investigators discovered here.
Well, Kate, Derek Lisi has been a custodian at Brown University for 15 years. He said when police showed him the surveillance video of the suspect, he immediately recognized the man. Now, Lisi says in the weeks leading up to the shooting, he notified a guard working for a third-party security company about the man he saw inside classroom buildings, but believes his concerns were never relayed to Brown police. Lisi says he immediately recognized the way the shooter was walking with a limp. The third-party security company, ESS, has not responded to multiple requests for comment, but the president told the Boston Globe the company is hired for event security, including ID checks and capacity counts, not monitoring campus buildings. Lisi sat down with Target 12 investigator Sarah Granelli and spoke about what he told detectives.
I could see him and nobody else could. I just had an eerie feeling. But it was the way he was browsing in the classrooms. He was like rolling his eyes one way, rolling his eyes another way. And it wasn't just that classroom. It was all the classrooms. And when they had posted the photo on the TV, I was telling my fiance, I said, that was the guy I saw. I said, I hope it's not that guy.
Investigators mentioned Lisi in their affidavit as one of the 2 witnesses. He says he doesn't want any reward money, but hopes a memorial will be built for the 2 students who were killed. Live in studio, Joe Cortez, 12 News.
Okay, well, I don't know. I think the way that video ends is kind of funny. They're saying that this custodian at Brown University saw a suspicious man and reported it to a guard working for a third-party security company that was on campus. Weeks later, that was the person that did the shooting. Now, this guy says, at the end, they say that he claims that he doesn't need any reward money, but they just hope that they build a memorial for the 2 students killed. The memorial thing is a good suggestion and gesture, right? Saying that you don't really need the reward money, are you really deserving of the reward money because you didn't actually stop it from happening? Which it wasn't necessarily his fault because he did tell somebody, but why didn't he call the police? Like, if he thought it was really suspicious, why didn't he call the police? And if it's not up to him because he did tell campus security that we'll assume that's who that is, why didn't the campus security guy do anything about it? And have they identified him and questioned him? What is protocol for his position if he gets a report like this? Did he drop the ball? Is he the reason that the shooter was never questioned in the first place when he first showed up being suspicious? They're not really leaning into that at all. At least they don't make it seem like they're leaning into it at all. So it just kind of seems suspicious. But like I said, it's a little funny at the end of the video where they're like, nah, he don't want the reward money. And like, do you deserve it at this point? I mean, yeah, you made the report, but you didn't stop the shooting. The shooter still killed everybody, and well, he killed himself, and now it's all just a tragedy. It's nice that you don't want the reward money, though. That just sounds weird to me. It might be the reporter who made that shit up. I don't know, but maybe they will build a memorial for the 2 students that were killed. And like I said, that's a nice suggestion and gesture. Either way, next up, Charlie Kirk assassin files for a new motion. This is another short video. It's very weird as well. He's trying to get the whole prosecuting team kicked out of the courtroom, claiming there's a connection between one of those guys and the event itself. It's coming up next, but first we're going to hop in the chat, see what your hooligans think about this situation in Brown University. Ghostly top flight security. Yeah, the whole security, I don't know. It's all weird. 0 custodians know who belongs and who doesn't. They should have listened. I agree. Hair juicer. What video did they show him? What makes him so special? Well, it's not really that. It's the fact that he reported the guy, and if somebody would have actually looked into the suspicious person, they may have prevented the shooting from happening in the first place because it was weeks in advance. But apparently the report fell on deaf ears, and so this guy came back and he did what he did, and nope, I don't know, and it went the way it went. Ghostly, Trump was a registered Democrat back in the day. There are going to be pictures of him with these people. They were probably begging him for money. Yeah, you're probably right, Ghostly. Watchman, custodian looks former military. Yeah, I was kind of thinking that too. Otter, same thing with campus security. Who was told multiple times about Sandusky and those little boys at Penn State. This is why the coaches lost their job too. These schools think that they are the law. Yeah. It's unfortunate. These people get really entitled at these schools. And I don't know. They let that stuff gas them up. What's up, Relax? Happy freedom to you. Watchman, he recognized the shooter so he helped narrow down the video footage so the guy scoping the place out. Oh, I see, Watchman. Alright, Hooligans, moving forward here. Like I said, this next one is a short video about the shooter from the Charlie Kirk situation. He's trying to file a motion claiming that the prosecution team needs to be thrown out because there's a connection between them and the event itself where the shooting took place. It's coming up next, but really quick, I want to remind you, Hooligans, about our friend Larry. Larry's been in and out of the hospital recently, and he is in need of a kidney transplant. I put together a page for him over on the website. It's got his story, his details, links, and he even made a GoFundMe. If there's any way you can help our friend Larry, please go check out his page over on the website. What's up, Meta? Happy freedom. Alright, like I said, getting into this quick video here about the Charlie Kirk shooter. Come on, dude thing. Now, I don't know if this is going to work or not because I don't know how they even found out that, well, we'll talk about it after the video. Hit that like button if you haven't already, and let's get into this.
Developing this morning, the man accused of assassinating conservative activist Charlie Kirk is now trying to kick the entire Utah County Attorney's Office off the case. Prosecutors say they plan to fight a motion from Tyler Robinson's attorneys that claims there's a serious conflict of interest tying the prosecution directly to the deadly shooting. Now, the filing alleges one prosecutor and the Utah County's Attorney's Office had a family member at the event when the shooting happened and received real-time text messages during that shooting. They argue the prosecutor's emotions are part of what influenced them as a team to seek the death penalty. A judge is set to hear arguments on the motion on January 16th. If the request is granted, the entire Utah County Attorney's Office could be removed from the case, further delaying the trial as it is.
So like I said, really quick video there. Interesting strategy. They're saying that the the shooter that killed Charlie Kirk is he's going to file a motion to try and remove the prosecuting attorney's office from, or he's doing it by claiming that one of them is connected to the shooting itself. They're saying that a family member was at the event when the shooting happened, and one of the people in the attorney's office was receiving real-time text messages during the event. They're also saying that the person's emotional attachment to the case is why there's such a strong push for the death penalty. The judge is supposed to look at this January 16th and probably make a determination on it. It would be interesting if they had this thrown out, but I don't really know what difference it's going to make. Whatever evidence they have is still the evidence they have, but it would delay the trial and they'd have to pretty much start all over again, sort of, because they'd have to bring new people in and all of that. We'll see what happens. Like I said, January 16th, they're supposed to look into it. Next up, we got the last little bit of the news before we get into the fun stuff. Judge allows Kilmar Abrego Garcia to remain free. This is the poor father from Maryland that they keep saying was wrongfully deported. He's now able to go home to his family in Maryland. I think he was just released in wherever the hell he was being detained. But now he gets to go back to his life as the poor father from Maryland, which is really crazy. It's coming up next, but first we're going to hop in the chat and see what you hooligans think about the Charlie Kirk shooter and his motion that he's trying to file. Ghostly last-ditch effort. Yeah, I think so too. Saltarego, I need a nap. Me too. What's up, Wendy Wild? Happy Freedom. Like another 30 minutes or so, probably. What's up, Sedan? Happy Freedom to you. And Dems will elect him. Kilmar Abrego Garcia, they might. What's up, Enter User? Happy Freedom to you. Kung Fu, you guys and your sour cream. Yeah, I don't really mess with sour cream either. I mean, if it's already like on the burrito or whatever, then I just go ahead, but I don't order it. What's up, Bill Clay? Happy Freedom to you. Electric Hammer, off topic, but forever, is this, what does it say? For every put cottage cheese in your scrambled eggs. No, what? No, I don't like cottage cheese at all. I couldn't imagine putting in my scrambled eggs. You're a tough cookie. I would not be able to do that. That sounds like Fear Factor to me. I'd be throwing up. What's up, Major? Happy Freedom to you. Ghostly, the state already said that they're going to light his ass up. Bet the prosecutor steps off the case and another one ends up frying him. Yeah, that's what I think's going to happen too, Ghostly. I don't think there's a way out for him. What's up, Pumpkin? Happy Freedom to you. What's up, M. Wiles? Happy Freedom to you. Kung Fu, hot sour cream makes me want to barf like Klaus would. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. What's up, Meta? I'm doing okay. How are you doing, Meta? What is going on over here? Thank you so much, Stern, for gifting 5 subs over on Twitch. You're badass. Thank you so much for the support. And happy freedom to you, Stern. What's up, Mary Todd? Happy freedom. Got a hype train going. Going all out, Stern. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas to you. Derek, this is a lawyer move of a very expensive lawyer. Yeah, I believe it. I don't know where all these people get all their money from when they're dealing with court and stuff. I don't understand it. Damon Walker, paying an illegal to self-deport is kind of redundant considering we're paying for them for a very long time, years underneath. Yeah, Damon Walker, you're right. What's up, Salty Ginger? Happy freedom to you. Salty Ginger, we started a little bit more than an hour ago. We're on our last little bit of the news before we get into the fun stuff. Salty Ginger. I hate cottage cheese, but I like it in lasagna. I haven't had lasagna in like 15 years. Let's see. And what is that? Ricotta as another layer? Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, Salty Ginger. I haven't had lasagna in a very long... Not since I was 23. When I turned 23, like shortly afterwards, when I found out I had all these stomach problems, I was sick all the time. I didn't know why. And I went and got tested and stuff because it got to the point where I was throwing up blood and all this other stuff. And they found out I had problems with my stomach. So anything with tomatoes, I cut it out for the most part. Now I know what I can and can't eat. And I just haven't eaten lasagna yet since I had changed my diet. One day I will. All right, hooligans. Moving forward here, like I said, judge allows Kilmar Abrego Garcia to remain free. I can't even believe this stuff because President Trump, the entire Trump admin, and Boo Boo Kelly himself, the president of El Salvador, they all sat in the Oval Office swearing up and down that Kilmar Abrego Garcia will never step foot on American soil again. And then they turned around and brought him back on our dime so they could convict him of human trafficking. And since he's been back, he's been freed. Now he gets to go hang out with his family in Maryland and act like nothing happened. I'm waiting for him to sue the federal government because the news keeps saying, they're going to say it here in a moment, they're going to say wrongfully deported. And the more they do that, the more they open a case where he could actually sue the federal government for all kinds of things. like crimes against humanity and potentially win. This guy might become a millionaire off this shit. And the stuff they say at the end of this video itself is really crazy. Either way, hit that like button and let's get into this.
A man that was wrongfully deported and faces human smuggling charges in Tennessee is allowed to stay with his family in Maryland. Kilmar Abrego Garcia was ordered to be released from ICE custody back on December 11th. A federal judge in Maryland is now reviewing his immigration case, saying Abrego Garcia was already deported once without legal authority. Government attorneys argue that with or without a final order of removal, they are still working to deport Abrego Garcia so they can legally detain him during the process. A group that's been advocating for his release says the ruling goes beyond his case.
Exactly what Kilmar is experiencing in there is what's happening over and over and over again in so many courtrooms, in so many detention centers, in so many places across the country.
The judge is barring immigration officials from taking him back into custody until there's a clear plan with his case. Abrego Garcia's lawyers say he is willing to self-deport to Costa Rica, where he has refugee status.
That last little bit at the end there, that just, I can't even believe that. It's just, I can't believe it because they said a little bit, but it actually means a lot. So anyways, in this video, they were saying that this poor father from Maryland is free to be with his family as he waits to be on trial for human smuggling. Now advocates are saying that all illegals without final removal orders should just be free until the time of deportation. Like if you're going to be deported tomorrow, then today you should be allowed to run the streets. He's now saying that he's willing to self-deport to Costa Rica because he has refugee status. If they let him do that, that means that he's getting $3,000 because we just covered that yesterday. If you self-deport between now and before New Year's Day, New Year's Eve, you get $3,000 instead of $1,000, and you get a free plane ride to wherever you're going. So if they give him this deal, he'll get $3,000. He'll go to Costa Rica, and he has the opportunity to come back if he does so legally. How did this happen? How did this happen? The whole Trump administration said he would never set foot on U.S. soil ever again, and now he's in a position to receive $3,000, potentially sue the federal government, go to Costa Rica, and he can come back if he does it legally. Did he hit the fucking lottery? Like, who's got luck like this guy? It's unbelievable. This is unbelievable. I don't understand how we got in this position. What a lucky guy. Poor father from Maryland. It's unbelievable. Anyways, next up we got the fun stuff. We're going to be opening today's door of the Advent calendar sent by Tori Wayne. And we got our two funny videos of the day. First one is provided by Colty and is titled, Pranking the Wife is Dangerous. And our official funny video of the day was provided by Stoner and it's titled, Are They Putting It in the Subs? It's coming up next, but first we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about this poor father from Maryland. Go sleep. I'm trying to see which out of this I can actually read. Wait, he's being deported? So he is illegal, right? And that's the thing, is they're getting hung up on the final removal notice or whatever and not the fact that he's here illegally. What's up, Danon? Happy freedom to you. Everybody's saying this is CIA stuff. Bill Clay, I'm going to Costa Rica. We all just go to, just go ahead and deport us. Give us our $3,000. We're going to Costa Rica. What's up, Marsh? Happy freedom to you. Convicted felon will never be allowed back. Is he convicted of felonies? I know that they're trying to convict him. Otters, he may have made a deal with the Trump admin, already sang. That could be. Kevin, who's Casey Jones? I probably shouldn't even say that out loud. I don't know why I do that. If I don't know what you guys are saying, I'm not supposed to read it out loud, but then I do, and then the security reminder kicks in. Major, he literally got caught trafficking while here illegally. Yeah. Now he's about to get $3,000 and a free trip to Costa Rica. It's like Wheel of Fortune. Enter user, these judges have a huge God complex. Yeah, you're right. It's not good. Pumpkin, with my luck, they wouldn't let me come back. See, that's why I don't test things either. I got bad luck. Meta, adding a little sugar to the tomato sauce cuts the acid in the tomato. Adjust for taste and tolerance. I do this with tomato soup and sauces. Never eat too much at one time either. I didn't know that. I've never heard of putting sugar in it. I've heard people say if your coffee is bitter, you can add salt, and that will help with the bitterness. I haven't really tried that either. Meta, Trump has said a lot of things. Kilmar gets $3,000. We get $2,000. Yeah, that when you put it like that, that sucks. We got a new emoji over here on Twitch. You guys unlocked it with the hype train there. What's up, Drina? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Bullseye? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Mana? Happy freedom. Salty Ginger. I have a niece-in-law in Costa Rica. I'm sure they don't want him either. Yeah, I wonder how he got refugee status over there. Like, how did that come about? Because they were going to send him to Uganda because they didn't have anywhere else to send him. It's okay, Walt. Happy freedom. Man, don't buy bitter coffee to put salt. I don't even make food at my house right now. I get everything from the gas station. Ghostly, honey cuts the acid in tomato sauce too. Oh, that's interesting. Honey, that's the way to go. So should you put sugar in your homemade spaghetti sauce? Look at you guys all talented and stuff. I couldn't make a bowl of cereal if I had to right now. I am just exhausted with life. Either way, moving forward, let's get into the fun stuff. Wake up, Klaus Daniels. We need to get into the fun stuff. We're waiting on you. Wake up. Just wake up. There's a whole bowl of Klaus there. Yeah. Good Lord. Anyways, we're going to be seeing what we get from the advent calendar sent by Tori Wayne. And like I said, we got our 2 funny videos of the day. But before we get into this, I want to remind you, hooligans, if you'd like to support the live to keep us running, you're welcome to use the links in the video description. We have PayPal, Cash App, Stripe, Zelle, Venmo, Locals, Buy Me a Coffee. You can send something to the P.O. Box, or you can even send crypto. Let's see what we get today from the Advent Calendar sent by Tori Wayne. What day are we on, hooligans? Day 24, I think. Because yesterday, I think, was 23. I'm pretty sure. Come on. Yep. So today is day 24. Right here. What are we getting today? What is it, Klaus Daniels? You lazy. Just wake up. Oh, what is this? What is this? Whoa. Day 24, we got... What are these? Cards of sorts. Oh, we're being lied to by Vault-Tec. That's what it is. Enjoy Vault living. Rescue your spot today. Or is that what this is? Reserve, if I could read, that help. Reserve your spot today. This is Vault Tech propaganda telling people that they need to pay for a vault, not realizing that they were becoming a part of a giant experiment. Mr. Handy trusts Abraxo, however you say the cleaner, for all your cleaning needs. It's more advertisement. Mr. Handy here. Good stuff. Good stuff. I love it. I love everything that's coming out of this Fallout calendar. It's badass. Thank you, Tori Wayne. Really appreciate you. Let's get into these funny videos really quick. Now, this one is a little dangerous. This was provided by Colty. It's titled, "Pranking the Wife is Dangerous." Huge risk, low reward. Getting into our official funny video of the day. Today it was provided by Stoner. And this one's titled, "Are they putting it in the subs?"
Yeah, just a little bit of pepper. Yeah. Can you just spray it for me? Yeah, can you spray? Hey, Keisha. Only in Dallas. Oh, no, help. Baby girl, you sleeping. Oh, my God. She got I said a head of lettuce, not your head in my damn sandwich. Oh, my God. And she out there, I'm finna go out here. I got to pay for her Uber to the crib.
It's not good. Well, hooligans, that is all the coffee I had for you guys today. I'm going to grab this link really quick. I'm going to drop it in all the chats. We're going to read through. We got the Pledge of Allegiance coming up, and then we're raiding out over on Rumble. Doing that fentanyl lean. Do they not drug test for these positions? I feel like everywhere here drug tests, no matter where you're trying to work. Either way, there is the link where all of my links are listed. So if you'd like to make donations, join membership programs, or purchase any merch, would really appreciate it. All of your guys' contributions keep us running every day except for Sunday. Just got to have a day to recharge those batteries. Definitely go join Discord. Discord is our free hooligan community. It's the best way to be notified every single time we go live. The hooligans are there keeping the conversation going 24/7. And we have 2 news boards to keep you up to date with everything going on around the world. So definitely go join Discord. If you're feeling real saucy, go join jeffmaclive.com. Over on the website, it is the best way to experience the live. Our built-in chat has more ability than any other platform. You can post memes and GIFs and custom emojis and links and all kinds of stuff right there while watching the live. You also have access to Hooligans Alley, which is our private social media area. You have access to the forums, the arcade, the Hooligan AI, and our advanced messaging system with the built-in group chats. So definitely go get yourself a membership for jeffmaclive.com. It's the home of the hooligans. Like I said, we're going to read through. We get the pledge coming up, and then we're raiding out over on Rumble. Ghostly, no restaurants test for drugs. It's why I became a cook, then a chef. Yeah, all the waitresses here are all pillheads and stuff. It's just the way it is. Turbo, I thought we were blowing up all the drug boats. Where are they getting that stuff? Across the Mexico border is where it was coming through from cartel. I'm sure it still is. Ghostly feels like home in Philly. Yeah. There's so many videos of Philadelphia with people doing the fentanyl lean. Snooks, you cook great with your crock pot. Yeah, I was. I can't now. I mean, I could, but I can't. I can't make myself do anything. Watchman. Oh, Merry Christmas to you. I appreciate you being with us, Watchman. Otters, they do when they get hired and then they stop. Yeah, drug testing employees. Yeah. What's up, FEMA Region? Happy freedom to you. Let the cat rest. I can't. He wakes me up all the damn time. What goes around comes around. Meta the nod. Yeah, that's what people call it. What's up, Fry TV? Happy Freedom. She was on drugs. The whole town was on drugs. What's up, UC? Happy Freedom to you. What's up, Maria? Happy Freedom. Boozy Flame, just put buttered sausage in your coffee. I mean, that just fixes everything, don't it? Fry TV, yes. Sea salt or pink salt, both is better. I put both in coffee. See, I'll have to try it, Fry TV. I have to start making coffee again. It's a Patriot Roy. Happy Freedom. Yeah, we're getting to the end of things. Kung Fu, I love the day before Christmas. It should be a holiday. That's such a hooligan thing to say. Holy. Otters, I feel like the Subway lady. Tired of cooking. Well, you signed up for it. You'll feel so accomplished when you get done, Otters. Merry Christmas to you, Rappy. Toilet care mixing cookies is work. It is. It is trying to get all the lumps out so you don't have pockets of flour when you're biting into the cookies. Turbo, I could blow up a toilet. That's about it. You're going to have a 3-letter agency knocking on your door now. They're going to be like, what'd you mean when you said this? Anyways, it's that time again, hooligans. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we did the thing. Who are we raiding today? I can't remember what day it is. Is it Tuesday? Who we raided yesterday? Weird, there's not that many people live right now. What time is it? Oh my goodness, it's only 6 o'clock. Who did we raid yesterday? Was it Grim Hollywood? We could raid None Report. That's probably what Wendy Wild was asking. What are they doing? Are they wrapping up? Oh, they are wrapping up. I bet that's what it was. I bet they were going to raid us. Well, let's keep looking. Now, I remember we raided this guy before, but I don't remember how this went. Do you hooligans have suggestions in the chat? Let me see. Zero, we raided Grim? That's what I was thinking. What's up, 1776? Happy Freedom to you. Hey, thanks for being with us, Bill Clay. Otters, one nation, and possibly Greenland under God. moving in that direction. Well, let's go ahead and raid this guy, I guess. I don't remember how the last one went, but it is what it is. Well, what about Red Pill? Because they raided us before. Do they got hooligans in the chat? I think they do got hooligans in the chat. Let's raid Red Pill. I don't know how this is going to go, but I'm pretty sure that they've raided us before. So let's go ahead and do this. We good? We are good. It's not a premium live because I always mess it up. That's the first time I ever looked. And it's not a premium live, so get ready, you hooligans. Hit that like button as soon as you land, and let's get raiding.
And that this is not something that's going to happen overnight. All right, now, the Justice Department released a new tranche of Epstein files accidentally late last night. They didn't mean to put it out right away, and so they pulled them back, and then they released them again this morning. But before that, a spokesperson paying attention to the way the department's releases thus far and demanded that they finalize the release of everything related to Bill Clinton. Now, I go back to the beginning of the show when somebody suggested that Trump and Bill Clinton are friends, best friends now. Now, that's obviously not the case. And the way that information about Bill Clinton is being released slowly, drip, 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 it's obviously making him crazy. It's obviously making him on the edge of his seat, riddled with anxiety, wondering what's going to come out. What could potentially be in these files? President Trump is not losing any sleep because there's nothing in these files that is going to legitimately take him down. There's no true accounts of him raping or killing people, even though there are people who are finding things in these files that seem to, align with some preconceived notions that they may have about him. We will talk about that. But you don't have pictures of President Trump meeting privately with Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein and flying to Jeffrey Epstein's private island with women who are not his wife sitting.
Fantastic raid, you hooligans. So Red Pill Wife was talking to us in the chat there. I don't know about the dude on the screen. I don't think he was going to engage with us, but I don't know the whole situation. I'm pretty sure they've raided us before. So huge shout out to them. And you guys did fantastic on the raid. We're going to read through really quick, but we are wrapping this up. We'll be live again tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern time, for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. Ghostly raid the hub. Oh, that's a different kind of raid. We'll have to work that out. Sly Dog, all of Bill's pics have been destroyed. Well, they've been releasing some photos of Bill Clinton, but I don't know. Like I said, I think it's all a bunch of, here, we gave you what you want, stop talking about it. I feel like that's what it is. Even though this isn't what people want. People want bad guys to go to jail. Told to care, still want to make molasses if my arms hold out. How do you make molasses? Oh, well, thank you, Too Old to Care. Christmas blessings to you. I appreciate you being with us. Thank you, Rappy. Enjoy the rest of your night. Much love to you. Meta, have you ever suffered a brain injury? Not that I know of, Meta. Not that I've never been asked that before. Maybe I have. I don't know. I might not be the guy to ask about that. Not that I know of. Yeah, Cat Dog's not live. Otherwise, we would have rated Cat Dog. But that's all right. What's up, Afro Man? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Southern Eagleman? Happy freedom to you. Merry Christmas to you, hooligans. Damon Walker, Elon Musk says that all of our jobs will be taken over by AI. Let's see. Just said I finally highly suspect. Yeah, he's saying that AI and robots are going to make work an optional thing, but it ain't going to be. If that even happens, it's not going to be anytime soon. Christine, that's why I have a stand mixer. Yeah, that's the way to go. They're kind of expensive though, aren't they? Fry TV, the system is scum on all sides. Definitely seems that way. Hey, thanks for being with us, Zero. Thank you, 10 Man. You hooligans, enjoy the rest of your night. Sly Dog, we just did the raid. We raided Red Pill. But happy freedom to you, Sly Dog. I think we are good to go. Ghostly, Elon does K2. Yeah, he does. He does. He loves his ketamine. You're right. Anyways, like I said, I think we are good to go. We'll be live again tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern time, for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. And it is going to be Christmas Eve. I got to find Klaus's stocking before Santa shows up. I'll have to figure that out. And don't forget, we are doing the Christmas unboxing on Christmas Day. We're going to make it a lot of fun. I've been getting supplies and stuff for the Christmas unboxing because we're going to have fun all day. I've been saving funny videos and all kinds of things. So make sure you guys stop in on Christmas Day so we can do the Christmas unboxing and have ourselves a merry little Christmas. I appreciate all of you guys being here. Thank you for helping me cover the news, and thank you for helping me make the news suck a little less. You guys are fantastic. Go out there, enjoy the rest of your day, find some good food, have fun, and be safe. I will try and do the same, and make your way back to us tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. Huge shout out to everyone that made donations, joined the membership programs, or purchased any merch. I really appreciate all of you hooligans, and I wouldn't be able to do any of this if it wasn't for you. So thank you so much for all your support, and I'll see you on the next live. Until then, stand tall, shine bright, and that's a wrap.